Welcome to MMA Daily. Here we bring you the latest and most exciting news from the world of mixed martial arts. If you love MMA, make sure to like our videos and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the thrilling updates. Get ready for some interesting news today. Starting off, Israel Adesanya predicts Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic ends in 2 rounds. Moving on, Jon Jones tabs former rival as the most skilled opponent he's faced in his UFC career. Lastly, Jon Jones names former UFC light heavyweight champion as fun fight he'd accept instead of Tom Aspinall. Former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya doesn't believe the heavyweight main event between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic on Saturday will last long. Jones and Miocic are known for highlight finishes and incredible performances during their careers. Adesanya, a fan of both heavyweights, believes the UFC 309 main event will last mere minutes. In a recent breakdown on his YouTube channel, Adesanya gave his prediction for the UFC 309 main event. Jon Jones looks better at heavyweight already. He's been taking it seriously, and the way he fights, the Ciryl Gane fight was the one that made me go, he's the best. Because I thought Ciryl Gane was going to give him some trouble, and Ciryl was the new age heavyweight, and Jon said, hold my beer. The guy is just crafty, creative at what he does. Stipe is tough. He can outwork a lot of heavyweights. We've seen what he's done in the past. We've seen his reign as a heavyweight, knocked people out, submitted people. But this fight, I think he's up against it. I'm going to pick Jon Jones. First 2 rounds, he's going to finish him. The hype behind Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic is paramount around the world. But Adesanya believes anyone expecting a back-and-forth war over 5 rounds is foolhardy. Jon Jones dismantled many legends in his UFC career, but one of them was the toughest to prepare for above the others. Jones will face former UFC heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic in the UFC 309 main event this Saturday in New York City. He returns to the octagon to make his first heavyweight title defense almost 2 full years after beating Ciryl Gane at UFC 285. Jones's resume undoubtedly puts him in the conversation as the greatest UFC fighter of all time. Many believe he is, despite some lengthy hiatuses and outside-the-cage controversies. Jones is known as a voracious strategist and game planner in his UFC career. He's worked non-stop to solve some of the toughest puzzles in the octagon, including 2 fights against Alexander Gustafsson and his last matchup against Gane. But Jones's most heated rival sticks out amongst the pack. During his UFC 309 Media Day press conference, Jones picked Daniel Cormier as the toughest puzzle he's solved in his career. I think Daniel Cormier is probably the most skilled. His Olympic-level wrestling, dirty boxing, and his boxing. Cormier will be cage-side for UFC 309 this weekend alongside Joe Rogan and Jon Anik. He entered the UFC Hall of Fame in 2022 after winning multiple world championships in his career. Jones and Cormier shared the octagon twice, with Jones winning both matchups. But Jones's knockout win over Cormier at UFC 214 was overturned to a no contest. The Jones vs. Cormier rivalry featured casino brawls, hostile press conferences, and 2 instant classic matchups. Despite 2 losses to Jones, Cormier's standing in the rivalry made him a household name for years to come. Jones could potentially retire this Saturday after UFC 309, depending on how the fight plays out. Cormier, his UFC nemesis, will be front and center to watch Jones's last potential appearance in the cage. UFC heavyweight champion Jon Jones is interested in fighting Jamahal Hill. Given Tom Aspinall's current status as interim heavyweight champion, many want to see the winner of Saturday's headliner face him. While Stipe Miocic has shown interest in facing the Brit, Jon Jones hasn't. In fact, Jones has gone as far as calling Aspinall and admitted he has zero intention of ever facing him. Instead, it seems the UFC heavyweight champion wants to have fun fights instead. At UFC 309 Media Day, Jon Jones took part in a scrum with the media and discussed his MMA future. There, Jones once again showed interest in a future meeting with UFC light heavyweight title holder Alex Pereira. However, Jon Jones also teased several other fights. One of those matchups was against former UFC light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill. For his part, Hill hasn't competed since a first-round knockout loss to Alex Pereira in April. However, Hill has also called for a fight against Jones in the past. After this fight, if we get a dominant performance, I'm prepared to vacate the heavyweight championship and fight for fun. I've had a big chip on my shoulder my entire career, just defend, defend, defend. I don't necessarily want it to be over, but I want to fight for fun. Just being like, not having this belt to protect, but just fighting guys that I want to stylistically fight against. Just random fights. Jamahal Hill, me and him meet up at 220 and see what happens. Derek Lewis, he's got a lot of knockout power. I'm at a body weight right now that I can just do fun fights. That's what I want to do. Thanks for watching MMA Daily. We hope you enjoyed the latest updates from the world of mixed martial arts. If you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more exciting content. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned for more MMA action.